got a whole warning to these here. I'm sorry, I gotta go get some R&D. They last just as long on cost a fraction.
I looked up those shoes. They look like they were pretty good shoes too. I'm really surprised that they wore out as fast as they did.
They did. I wore them right out. I was so sad about it. All that money, and I get just as much pleasure out of $20, $30 shoes.
Right. And if you're just going to wear them out, at least you're only spending that much money. Well, at least the other shoes were gifted to you, so it wasn't your money that you lost, but it was still unfortunate.
It was an investment. She was trying to show me to prove something, and I said, I'm so sorry, Ronnie. She said, Mom, that's so disappointing.
It is. I agree.
I said, you see the bottoms of them? Yeah. Don't you think I need to get a different pair? Yeah. I said, I'll buy them this time, and I'll just go get another one.
Whatever it is that works for your feet.
Those ones work for my feet. Keep them on. I think I walk too heavy or something.
I really like my Asics for running, and I really like my Merrells for hiking. The Merrells have a harder sole, and even though it may seem weird, they actually grip better to like wet logs and stuff.
Yeah,
so when I'm going over them, they're not as slippery.
Yeah, the other pair I got got more grip to them, and I thought that'd be great for this winter. In the meantime, I said, well, if these were on sale, why not? Why not try them?
Hey, they're cute too.
Yeah. Those old houses that's up here.
This right here used to be an elementary school. The tan parts and the steeple part are things that were added on to make it into a church, it looks like. But this is where I went to elementary school for 1st through 5th grade. We had merry-go-round, one of the big tall metal slides that you burned your butt on. We had monkey bars. We had all kinds of fun stuff. Those animals on the giant springs. That was all fun.
Yeah, those are newer trees. Come see me, you know, couldn't convince Tony to. Yeah,
and that was after you moved back up here from
right, from the south.
One of the times.
From Ohio.
Yeah. I didn't realize you invited people out to my house. I probably would have had an issue with that.
No, I told you.
I just don't like people, Mom.
Oh.
Like, I don't want people around me.
I told you, just Terry.
Never wanted people around me.
The only reason Tony would have come is because it was her husband, just to stop by and say hi. And twice she was supposed to. And both times, because they went to Brighton. Her daughter lived in Brighton. No, Tony didn't want to go up there.
Alright, St. Joe, here we go. Now, this road used to be a dirt road. Yeah, but we're going to go to Bonley first.
Okay.
Bonley's a few miles down this way.
Sounds like a winner.
Hopefully it's all paved now. I would think so after all these years. I don't know if Karen still owns it or not.
Oh, we'll see if it says Bonley Farms. Was Bonley your last name or something?
I don't know if that was her last name. I don't think it was her last name. This right here is Bonley Farm. It looks like it's vacant.
It does. It looks like
there are no horses here whatsoever anymore, and it doesn't look like there has been for quite some time. They are mowing the paddocks. They have cows there now. But there's Bonley. This is the paddock where one of the stallions was kept. It was kind of an ornery cuss. That big barn is where the mares had their babies and where we AI'd, and it was in that little front part there.
Everybody still lives there.
to the left of that barn is an old track that they used to train on at one point in time. But I'm glad to see it still being used. To see where I was all the time when I was never home.
Oh, you were usually at the guard case.
First, but then we come down here to the creek.
Oh, right. You girls would all come down here to the creek. Yeah.
Me and Kirsten. It's actually a drainage ditch, but it has a nice sized culvert. And you would play in there. Like
You covered it all up.
Nope, it's up here. It's right here, the one that we would play in. Swimming? No, it's not that deep. We would get down in that culvert and we crawl around and we would turn over rocks and stuff and look for tadpoles or little. Oh yeah, all the time. Let's see if we can get down there. What do you say? See if we can get down here. It's a big culvert. Now, when we were little, the water wasn't quite as deep as it is right now, but we would straddle this and walk back and forth. And we would catch minnows in here and tadpoles. Sometimes I would put tadpoles in a jar, a glass jar, it's echoey, and ride them on my bike for 2.5, 3 miles back to my house. Put them in a foot bath, and then, sure enough, a raccoon would come over and eat everything, but I was kind of hoping they would grow up to be frogs. That would have been fun. But we'd walk through here and we'd pick leeches off from our legs and things like that when we were done. But it was someplace to have fun. This is one of the things I did. But yeah, you know, since kids were to be seen and not heard when I grew up, we just never said where we were. Oh, I do want to grab that picture though. That looks really cool.